Welcome to phase 6 of the 7-Figure Brand Strategy Workshop. So far, we have learned about the power of branding, how to audit your brand, how to build your brand foundation, how to locate and target your ideal customers, and how to beat the competition. Now we are going to look at brand principle number 4, strategic messaging. This is how you speak to your customers and where you should strategically communicate to your audience to create positive engagement. Your messaging should allow your audience to easily understand what you do, what are your values, what is your promise, and the benefits that your products or services offer. In this video, I will demonstrate how to define your brand's personality, voice, and positioning. Let's begin with your brand's personality. A brand's personality is a set of human characteristics that are attributed to a brand. Applying consistent personality traits to your brand is a way to humanize it with characteristics so a specific consumer segment can relate to your brand. Just like how you can tell a lot about a person based on their personality, you can also do the same for brands. For example, your brand's personality will dictate whether customers perceive your brand as sincere, exciting, competent, sophisticated, or rugged. When you use adjectives or traits to support these personality types through your tone of voice, visuals, and messaging, the customer will decide whether they want to be associated with your brand. The authenticity and the consistency of these traits is what separates a successful brand from a brand that is boring and irrelevant in the mind of the consumer. Remember, you're not trying to attract everyone here. You need to be very specific and deliberate in your messaging so you attract your ideal customers and actually repel the individuals who are not right for your brand. A brand's personality will play a critical role in properly positioning your brand and differentiating it from the competition. It will engage emotionally with your target audience, which will drive their purchasing decisions. Here are 5 benefits to consistently communicating your brand personality to your audience. Number 1, personality creates competitive differentiation. Your audience will constantly be comparing your products and services to those of the competition. By communicating your brand personality, you have the opportunity to market and position the same products or services differently than the competition. This will play a huge role in how the customer perceives your brand. Number 2, personality increases brand awareness. By applying a personality to your brand, it will consistently attract new customers who can relate to those same traits, and it makes your brand more recognizable in the marketplace. Number 3, personality fosters brand loyalty. When you have a legion of customers who identify with the personality of your brand, they will continue to purchase from you and evolve from brand recognition to brand preference. Number 4, personality enhances your brand story. People want to be part of something bigger than just a brand's product line, and they expect full transparency from the companies that they choose to buy from. Communicating and being open with your brand personality will enhance your brand story and further connect with your audience. Number 5, personality authenticates your core values. When your brand's personality reflects your core values, you will be perceived as authentic in the eyes of the consumer. If your customer believes that you are authentic, then they will trust you and feel safe and confident purchasing your products or services. As you can clearly see, a brand personality is a key component to defining your brand messaging. Without a personality, your brand will be perceived as dull, boring, and insignificant. Identifying your brand's personality is critical to generating a response from the consumer. In order to create your brand's personality, you first need to review who you are, what's your purpose, how you want your customers to feel about you, and what your core values are. Your personality is an extension of your brand's purpose, vision, mission, and values. So be sure to review the work that you've already completed back in phase 3 of this workshop. The more you're able to communicate your personality, the better odds you have of building a valuable connection with the customer. Once you have clarity about why you exist and what you are trying to do, next, you need to determine which personality type best reflects your brand. Here are examples of the 5 most common personality types. Number 1, sincere. These brands are honest, genuine, heartfelt, gracious, and passionate. Number 2, exciting. These brands are intense, energetic, joyous, imaginative, and enthusiastic. Number 3, competent. These brands are knowledgeable, professional, trustworthy, reliable, and strategic. Number 4, sophisticated. These brands are stylistic, luxurious, cultured, exquisite, and exceptional. Number 5, rugged. These brands are adventurous, strong, tough, confident, and outdoorsy. Once you have clarity on which personality type represents your brand, let's begin to refine it. Step number 1, start by choosing 10 to 15 adjectives that support your brand's personality type. Then gather your team and have each of them choose the top 5 that resonate with them the most. This should help you narrow it down to the most obvious 3 to 5. Step number 2, create a persona for your brand. If your brand were a person, who would that person be? Is it a high-performance athlete, a young mother, a distinguished gentleman, or a carefree, laughing child? Visualizing a fictional personality type will help you determine who your brand is made for. Step 3, decide who you want to be to your customers. What type of personality would they search out when they are in need of help or when they want to have fun? Ask yourself this question: I'm the one that's blank. When you've filled in that blank, you've provided your potential customers with a clear and easy to understand differentiator. If that quality aligns with them, they will become more attracted to your brand. Now, keeping in mind who your fictional persona is and who you want to be to your customers, take those 3 to 5 adjectives you've defined and describe your personality into a simple description. Keep this description to 1 to 2 tight sentences. The goal is to articulate your brand personality in a way that is quickly and easily understood by the audience. Now that you've defined your brand's personality type and your personality traits, it's time to communicate it to the customer. Here are 3 ways for you to accomplish that. The first is through your visual identity. This includes your logo, your typography, your brand colors, your imagery, and the look and feel of the design that you use in all of your marketing. You will learn more about how to do this in the next phase, designing your visual identity. The second way to communicate your brand personality is through your voice. This includes your messaging, the language you use, your tagline, and how you speak to your customers. Once again, I will show you how to find your voice coming up next. And the final way to demonstrate your personality is through your actions. This basically includes everything you do both online and offline. How you conduct yourself, how you present your brand in videos, how you interact on social media, and how your customer service department responds to emails or calls. This will help you further refine your brand's personality and make positive connections with your audience. The next step to developing your brand messaging and how you speak to your customers is by defining your brand voice. Your brand voice is a refined extension of your brand's personality. While your personality is reflected in everything that you do, your brand voice is how you effectively communicate that personality verbally through your language. It's how you speak and also how you don't speak to your audience that will greatly influence their first impression of your brand. How your brand communicates its personality through its voice is exactly the same as how humans verbally communicate their personalities. For example, when you have a conversation with a close friend over the phone, you can usually determine who he or she is without even having to see them. Their personality is communicated in how they speak. It's reflected in their tone of voice, the words that they use, the words that they don't use, their inflection, and the phrases that they commonly use. You can even get a general idea of a complete stranger's personality after just a few minutes of conversation. Just like a person's voice, a brand's voice is just an extension of their personality, and it should sound the same whether it's in a video content, social media, email communications, or a blog post. A voice is so powerful that it can potentially attract new customers before they even know what products or services you offer. And once you have their attention, you have the opportunity to make them feel welcome, safe, respected, and valued. Your brand's voice already exists within the work that you've already completed. You just have to identify it, articulate it, and share it with the world. Here are 8 steps to finding your brand voice. Step number 1. Just like you've previously done with defining other aspects of your brand messaging, you should go back and review your brand purpose, vision, mission, and values. Remind yourself of what is your purpose, What future do you want to help create? How will you create that future? What do you stand for? And what drives your decisions? After all, these are the reasons why you exist, and your brand's voice is simply a tool to express it. Step number 2. In addition to reviewing your purpose, vision, mission, and values, you should also review who your target audience is and your top competitors. Your voice is how you are communicated to your audience, so be sure that you are clear on who they are. Ask yourself questions like, what is their sense of humor? What are their personality traits? What adjectives describes them? How do you want them to feel about your brand? Don't try to sound like something that you're not just to attract a certain demographic. The consumer will see right through that and label you as inauthentic. Next, analyze how your competition and every other brand in your industry sounds. If they all sound the same, this could be a great opportunity to take a different approach. Find a way to differentiate your voice from the competition while still remaining genuine and speaking the language of your audience. Step number 3, find inspiration from other successful brands. What brands do you connect with? How do they sound? What is their personality type, and will that same personality type connect with your audience? For example, if you are an adventurous and rugged brand, find other similar brands and listen to how they speak to their customers. You obviously don't want to copy them, but learn from them and determine how you can bring out the same emotion. Step number 4. Just like you did when you were finding your brand personality, choose 3 to 5 adjectives that are appropriate to use in your language. These may be exactly the same as the adjectives that you defined earlier, but it's still a good exercise to look at these descriptive words from a verbal standpoint, not just a personality trait. Number 5, state what you won't do. In other words, who do you not want to be? Knowing who you aren't is just as helpful as knowing who you are. For example, if you are adventurous, funny, outgoing, real, and transparent, you don't want your voice to sound pretentious, overly serious, businesslike, or humorless. Not that there's anything wrong with being businesslike or serious, but just be sure that your characteristics are authentic to your brand's personality. Step number 6. Now that you have all this valuable information to work with, you will want to create a brand voice guide. This guide is a simple table that helps you organize and further elaborate on the brand characteristics that you've defined. This will also provide your designers and writers with guidelines to use when creating content, so you are confident that your brand voice will be communicated properly. I have provided a brand voice guide template in the downloadable resources for this workshop. Step number 7. Now that you have defined your brand voice, the next step is to complete a final audit of all of your work to make sure that it aligns with the rest of your branding and supports your company culture. So once again, review your brand purpose, vision, mission, and values, and confirm that they all work together in unison and support each other when communicated to the customer. Step number 8. The final step is to share your brand voice guide with your team. This will be a valuable reference for them to use to help your content creators understand what does and does not align with your brand. It will unify your brand voice and maintain consistency across all of your marketing channels. So there you have it. There is only one more strategy to define to communicate your brand message, and that is your brand positioning. Now you may be thinking, is it really that important to position my brand? Wouldn't it be easier to just sponsor a bunch of Facebook ads and wait for my audience to find me? Well, you could, but you'd be wasting a lot of time and a lot of money promoting your brand to random people who may or may not be interested in what you are offering. What if I told you that you can literally place your brand directly in front of your highly targeted ideal customer who wants your product or service, needs it right now, perceives it as the best option, and finds your offer irresistible? Wouldn't that be worth all of the additional work? Well, that is exactly what brand positioning can do for your business. To help you better understand the power of brand positioning, here are 6 top benefits of effectively positioning your brand. Benefit number 1, generate positive associations. When your brand is effectively positioned, your audience will perceive it as the best choice, trustworthy, and superior to the competition. These positive perceptions will lead to increased loyalty and increased brand equity. Benefit number 2, showcase uniqueness. Differentiating your brand from the competition will highlight the uniqueness of your products and services. This positioning will demonstrate how your products satisfy the needs of the consumer in a better way than the competition. Benefit number 3, increase awareness. Effectively positioning your brand will make it more memorable to the consumer. They will begin to recognize it as the best, most logical, and the preferred choice. Benefit number 4, build trust. When you clearly define how your brand is positioned, you take the guesswork out of the customer buying decision. If your product provides the solution that they are searching for, they will trust your brand and most likely make future purchases. Benefit number 5, demonstrate value. Strong positioning establishes your brand as the preferred option. When the consumer perceives your brand as valuable, you are able to effectively charge a premium price. Benefit number 6, enhances messaging. With a powerful and meaningful positioning statement, you will learn what messages engage with your customers the best. You can then build off of that foundation to create more compelling marketing campaigns. So as you can see, there is no doubt that proper brand positioning can determine the success or the failure of your business. All that upfront work of defining your brand purpose, vision, mission, values, targeting your audience, auditing the competition, and crafting your brand messaging are useless unless you take this valuable information and position your brand as the best option to the consumer. So now that we've established that positioning your brand is critical to the future success of your business, let's dive in and begin the process of actually positioning your brand. Brand positioning relies on you understanding 3 fundamental areas of brand strategy: your audience, your competitors, and your differentiators. Luckily for you, we have already defined your target audience and audited your competition. Therefore, all we need to do now is focus on that differentiator. And there are 2 differentiators that you must define. The first is your value proposition, and the second is your unique selling proposition. Although the characteristics of both these propositions will be similar, one will focus on the customer while the other will focus on the competition. Let's begin with your value proposition. A value proposition is a promise of value to be delivered and focuses on the functional and the emotional benefits of the experience. Understanding your value proposition starts with analyzing the data from your audience targeting and your competitor audits that you completed earlier. Questions you should ask yourself are: what do customers value most about your brand? How do customers see you as different from the competition? What is your competitive advantage in the customer's mind? What is your brand's promise to the customer? What is the number 1 reason your product or service is the best solution? By placing yourself in the mind of the consumer, you will see the value that you are bringing to them. Next, let's take a look at your unique selling proposition, or commonly referred to as your USP. Your USP is an internal statement which only focuses on the competitive differentiator. Basically, it explains why your product or service is better than the competition. To help define this, review phase 5 of this workshop, Beating the Competition, where you audited your competitors and determined what makes your brand unique. Here is a template to format your USP. Your brand offers product or service for target market to value proposition. Unlike the alternative, we key differentiator. Now that you have both your differentiators defined, let's finish this up by writing your brand position statement. A brand positioning statement is a declaration that communicates your brand's unique value to the target audience within the competitive marketplace. Its job is to provide clarity and direction for your team to consistently guide your brand in the right direction. Unlike your brand tagline and mission statement, your brand positioning statement is not customer facing, which means the customer should never see it. It should only be viewed and used internally to assist your team in their designs and their marketing campaigns. Your brand positioning statement can be broken down into 5 distinct elements: the audience, the challenger pain point, the key benefit, the competitive alternative, the unique point of difference. Take each of these elements and develop a concise sentence that defines it. Next, place each of these sentences into this formula to create your brand positioning statement. We help audience who challenge your pain point to achieve experience, key benefit, unlike competitive alternative, our solution, unique point of difference. This will provide a better understanding about the roles of each of these elements plays and clarifies the exact position the brand intends to occupy in the minds of the audience. It may take a few rounds, so keep asking yourself these questions until you have it just right. Is it believable? Is it easy to understand? Is it flexible and allows for future growth? Does it differentiate the brand from the competition? Will it help create more effective marketing campaigns? Does it speak to your audience? Does it motivate your audience? Is it memorable? Is it unique to your brand? And is it better than your competitors? Once you have the perfect brand positioning statement that will attract your audience, defeat your competition, and project superior value, you will want to revisit it as your business grows to see how you can make it even better. Brand positioning is critical to communicating the value of your brand to your ideal audience. It will influence customer behavior, dictate their buying decisions, increase customer loyalty, and build valuable brand equity. So that is it for this phase of developing your 7-figure brand strategy. Congratulations, your business is now perfectly positioned to attract your ideal customers and beat the competition. To continue your training, be sure to download your 7-figure brand strategy guidebook below to review what I've discussed today and begin implementing these strategies into your business. As always, if you have any questions or would like to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me, please visit brandidentified.com or shoot me an email at chris@brandidentified.com. I'm here to help.